Lane Tech girls volleyball is on the air as the champions look to punch their ticket back to the city quarterfinals here in the Chicago Public League playoffs. But in their way, the Lincoln Park Lions, a nearby rival, come to Lane Gymnasium looking for a 13-4 upset here on this Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Alex Burstein above midcourt here at Lane Gymnasium for what should be a fun one on this Thursday evening. Lane Tech and Lincoln Park, two teams that don't really like each other, nearby rivals in pretty much every sport, especially here in volleyball, as Lane Tech looks to advance to the quarterfinals. We have just about 2.5 minutes to go until first serve. We also don't have an announcer here tonight for the PA system, so should be a start right at around 5:56, 5:57. Lane Tech comes into this nice matchup with a 17-14 record after a 2-set win on Tuesday over the Steinmetz Silver Streaks. It was a similar story for Lincoln Park on Tuesday. They got an easy win, 2-0 over the Kenwood Broncos. So good first round showings for both of these teams, and we will see if they can keep it up here tonight in round 2 of the playoffs. 32 teams entered Tuesday's first round. 16 teams enter tonight's second round, and by the end of tonight, we will know the 8 quarterfinalists for the Chicago Public League Girls Volleyball City Championship. Very exciting times here in the postseason as we take you down to the court with just a couple of minutes to go until first serve here at Lane Gymnasium. So we will get you into the starting lineups here for Lane Tech. Pretty similar looking starting lineup as we have seen all year long for Lane Tech. They might try to experiment with some stuff in the second set if they have a big enough win, but for the first set, this is what Lane Tech is going to look like in the front row. Going from left to right, it'll be number 25, Amina Ahmad. In the middle, number 16, Kinsey Copenhaver, and to her right, the star outside hitter, number 5, Claire Anderson. In the back row, going from left to right, it'll be number 22, Olivia Crane. In the middle, number 12, Brooke Anderson. And to her right, the star server on this team, number 10, Catherine Hong. I did not see who won the toss, so we will see who starts off serving. It's been Lane Tech has had very good success getting first serve here the last couple of matches at Lane Gymnasium. We will see if that continues here tonight. Just about 30 seconds on the clock. Not sure if they're doing the national anthem or not tonight, or if we'll just be going straight into some girls volleyball action. As we mentioned, second round action here, so 8 games across the city tonight. We were not able to find who won 2 first round matchups, but we will read you through the matchups that we do have here in a little bit. But first, we'll set the scene for tonight's matchup. Lane Tech has had a lot of success against this Lincoln Park team as of recent. 6-0 in their last 6 meetings. Their last meeting came on September 10th of 2019. That was a 25-19, 25-11 win for Lane Tech at home. So Lane has had success on this court against the Lincoln Park Lions. And then also, this is the first October meeting recorded between these two squads. I go off of Max Preps, which goes back to 2007, 2008, but this is the first recorded matchup on Max Preps between the Lane Tech champions and the Lincoln Park Lions, as both teams take the court here for starting lineups, and then we'll be ready to go here from Lane Gymnasium. Lane Tech wearing their home green jerseys with yellow writing. They'll be going from left to right across your screen for tonight's matchup. The Lincoln Park Lions in their navy blue uniforms with gold writing on them. They'll be going from right to left. The liberos both wearing white tonight for Lane Tech and the Lincoln Park Lions. Interestingly, Lane Tech only dressing 1 libero per usual tonight. Lincoln Park actually has 2 liberos, and I got a quick look at how the rotation is going to look like tonight, and they're going to have a different libero in the first and the second set. We didn't get the full lineup, but that is how they are going to look here tonight. As the music has been cut, still not sure if we're doing the national anthem or not. We will see in a second. And yeah, still waiting for confirmation here. We were set for about a 6 p.m. first serve, and looks like that is just about what we are going to have, as both the teams high-five each other near mid-court. As we mentioned, Lane Tech has had a lot of success in this series. However, if you look at just records for this season, Lincoln Park with a much better winning percentage, 14-7. They went 8-1 in conference play, albeit they were playing in a much easier conference, the Red North versus the Super Public League for the champions, but it's been a good year for the Lions. They finished second behind Taft, so they won't be coming up to the Super Conference next year, but they're knocking on that door. Would not be surprised to see Lincoln Park playing alongside Lane in conference play in a couple of years, but first off, they're just hoping for a big upset win here on this Thursday night. A lot earlier of a start than we saw on Tuesday when that game got delayed about 45 minutes due to some issues with Steinmetz coming into Lane Gymnasium. They just had some busing troubles or something, but they were late. We got started around 6:45, 6:50. Tonight we're all set for a 6 p.m. first serve, and looks like it's actually going to be Lincoln Park. I jinxed myself. It's going to be Lincoln Park serving to start things off here on this Thursday night. Winner to the quarterfinals here from Lane Gymnasium, Lincoln Park and Lane Tech in the Chicago Public League playoffs as Heidi Stauber checks into the game for Brooke Anderson for substitution of the day for Lane Tech. And looks like we're just about ready for first serve, 5:59. And they're going to move it over to Lane Tech, it looks like. So we originally thought it was going to be Lincoln Park ball, and now both the teams are going to have to switch up their rotation. So instead it's going to be Catherine Hong, the first server of the day, and it will be Lane Tech, the team serving. So Lane Tech with a little bit of a lucky break there, as they've played very well off their serve, especially in the first round of the playoffs. The serving was what really won them their match against Steinmetz. And we will see Lane Tech serve to start off here on this Thursday night. So it'll be Catherine Hong, the number one server tonight for Lane Tech. Behind her, Claire Anderson, Kinsey Copenhaver, Addie Stoner, Sarah Thompson, and Heidi Stauber will be the rest of the serve rotation, as this one is up and we are underway, and that will be an ace for Hong to start things off here. Trying on the reception there was number one, Sarah Sweeto, but she cannot pull out the reception. And Lane Tech will take an early 1-0 lead here in set number one. As we mentioned, there was lots of very impressive serving on Tuesday night from Lane Tech. If they can repeat that, this could be a quick night for them. Anderson from the right side goes with a soft touch there, but able to find the ground as Lane will go up 2-0. Second game of the night here from Lane Gymnasium. We saw a 25-7, 25-13 win for the JV team, as an excellent serve there to the back row. Can't get much prettier than that. Hong finds some open court. Lincoln Park thought that one was sailing out, but finds the back of the court to put the champions up 3-0. The scoreboard here at Lane has 3-1. But now it has 4-1. Pretty sure it's 3-0. We'll check on that in a second, as this one softly punched over, but Lane Tech able to save it. That was Sweeto on the dig, and Anderson sends this one into the net. And the Lions will get on the board for the first time tonight. Scoreboard still has 4 points for Lane, so we will change that on our scorebug. Lane might have gotten lucky with an extra point given to them there, as Hong plays it to the outside. And Amina Ahmad gets her first kill of the night. Jasmine Mui, the libero, was there trying to dig it out, but just way too much power on that shot from Ahmad, who's been one of the top outside hitters this year. Claire Anderson's been really improving with her serves this latter part of the season, and she gets the point here after a nice block in the front row from Ahmad and Copenhaver. But Lane Tech up 5-6-1 here in set number one. It's a big win for Lane Tech on Tuesday against Steinmetz, mostly in part to very fast starts in the first and second set. And they're off to another fast start here tonight as Ahmad tries for her second kill of the night, but that one's dug out by the Lions. Stauber to the outside. Crame on her first kill attempt. Can't get it. Nice dig there from the back row, but they will give the point on a double here. So it was a very excellent kill there from Ava Corda, the junior outside hitter. However, the Lions, a quick mistake there, gives Lane Tech their 7th point of the night. Lincoln Park's done a good job on the receptions here tonight, but it's just so hard to stop shots like that. Kinsey Copenhaver from the logo at midcourt goes for the kill and puts the champions up 7 here. And Claire Anderson with an excellent day starting off here serving for Lane Tech. And just a very fast-paced part of the game as Corda trying to dig that one out, sent it right into the face of her teammate, Ava Dean. In the JV matchup, we saw a lot of miscommunication from Northside leading to that lane sack win, and we see a little miscommunication there as a block in the front row from Amada and Copenhagen, and this lane sack offense just rolling early on, and they're going to call, the Lions will call a timeout. Head coach Cameron Moore, looks like the only coach on the bench tonight for the Lions. So he'll have a quick talk with his team, who are struggling to get on the board early. 10-1, the early lead for the champions over the Lions. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Alex Burstein here at Lane Gymnasium for round number 2 of the Chicago Public League playoffs. So taking a look around the bracket here on this Tuesday night, Whitney Young taking on either Hancock or Lakeview. We could not get the winner of that round 1 matchup, but those two teams will be playing tonight. Von Steuben taking on Brooks. Washington taking on Westinghouse. The winner of that one has the winner of this one. So that's the left side of your bracket. On the right side of the bracket, Payton taking on Juarez. North side taking on Taft. Either Lindblom or Solorio taking on Kennedy. And Amundsen taking on Jones. As Hong with the front set. Crane still looking for her first kill, but a nice block there in the front row for the Lions. Stauber gets her first dig of the night. Now Crane again, this time goes with the soft touch. And a nice save there from Sweeto, who came in with the one hand. Ahmad tries a similar shot, goes with a little more power on that one. And she gives the champions their first double-digit lead of the game, 11-1 here. That's the toughest we've seen Lincoln Park play a point in a while, though, so we'll see if they can take some momentum from that, and they will get their service back at the least as Anderson sends this one into the net. Maddie Gavaldon will check into the game for Claire Anderson. Gavaldon played as the libero on Tuesday night, but will go back to her normal role here on round number 2 as Crane sends this one to the back row. Having a lot of powerful shots, but has yet to find the ground on any of them. Back set. Copenhagen gets the point after a attempt there from Jesseline Perkins on the block. She was able to get 2 hands on it, but sends it to the outside. And Lane Sack will get the point. Copenhagen heads to the back row to serve now. Brooke Anderson also into the game. She has a nice block here, her first of the night, and she will combine with Ahmad for the block and the points. To put Lane Sack up by 11 here, 13-2 in set number 1 of play. Anderson's been very impressive in that front row these last couple of games for Lane Sack. As first kill of the night here for number 21, Jesseline Perkins. The junior sends a lot of power into that shot as Heidi Stauber will check into the game for Kinsey Copenhagen. We'll see Stauber come in for Copenhagen and Anderson throughout this first set. As trying to dig this one out is Gavaldon, but a service reception error there. She cannot dig it out. Nice eye there by the server, who looks like it's number 11, Ruby Schaffer. Places that one perfectly to get the Lions back within single digits here. Tries a very similar shot, but Gavaldon there for that one. Crane sends it to the back row. Unable to dig it out was Corda. And after about 4 or 5 kill attempts, Crane finally able to get one in play as Addison Stoner and Campbell Wild will check into the game for the first time tonight. They come in for Hong and Ahmad after a good start to the game for both of them. Stoner, one of the top servers on this team, sends the first one booming, but finally able to put it over there was Perkins. Front row, Anderson, I believe, got the final touch there. She'll send it over for a point. So even when Lincoln Park has been able to string along 1 or 2 points, it's been a very good job by Lane Sack to keep any true runs from the Lions from happening here in set number 1. And Lane Sack now 10 points away from a first set big win. So we'll see the back set. Perkins lays down the kill, her second kill of the night. And If the Lions want to see their offense wake up, it looks like it's going to have to run through Perkins. Tallest player on the court for the Lions, possibly the tallest player on either side of the court, as Stoner sends this one off the tape. Lincoln Park got lucky there, and finishing the point, number 1, Sarah Sweeto. So just as we said, Lincoln Park was having trouble stringing along some runs. They do a couple of straight points here to get within 11, 16-5. Hong from the opposite side as usual sends this one. This one goes off the ceiling, and Corder there was unable to put it over the net. So for those of you unfamiliar with the rules here at Lane Gymnasium, all balls played off the ceiling are able to be played. We saw this happen a couple times in the JV game and the first time there, as Sarah Thompson will be back to serve. She came in for Olivia Crane. Makes it a lot harder to finish the point, but if a team is able to play it off the ceiling, the rules allow them to. Sarah Thompson will get the point off of her first serve. She'll go back at it. It's been the number 2 libero, but also comes in as one of the servers for Lane Tech this year, as this one sent too far off the hands of Perkins to put Lane Tech up by 14. On Tuesday night in set number 1, Lane Tech, I don't believe, got even through their entire serve order in the first set. It would be interesting to see if they can do that again here, but Perkins making that a little difficult as she has her 3rd kill of the night, and they will send her back to serve. Perkins listed at 6 feet tall on the roster. That's both a middle blocker and a middle hitter, as the junior sends her first serve booming to the back row, and this one just goes a little too far, as Lane Tech will get point number 20 on the night, as Perkins checks out of the game right after that one, and Lane Tech will send Stauber, their 6th and final server in the rotation, to the back row. Nice serve there, misplayed off the reception there by Schaffer, and a very nice hit there by Stauber, who's had some very strong games serving. I don't think she's had a game as strong serving as she did in her first one against DePaul Prep here at home. That was one of the best games I've seen out of her all year long, but she'd love to have another good performance after missing a couple of games for Lane Tech. Was a scratch on Tuesday, but back in action for the libero here tonight, as Lane looks to close out set number 1, 21-6, a Champions lead, and this one sent too far once again off the hands of Corda to move Lane Tech within 3 of a first set victory. Quarterfinal play set to take place on Monday, as a diving attempt there by Schaffer, who's putting her body on the line here to try to keep this one from going in Lane Tech's favor, but unable to finish the reception, and an ace there by Stauber. She'll look to do it again here to put Lane Tech at match point. Soft serve dug out by the libero Mui, who's had a quiet set number 1. Stoner with the set, and finishing the kill is Copenhaver. It's been a great duo all year long. Stoner's been one of the top setters on this team, and Copenhaver playing in that front row has been very impressive. An excellent 1-2 punch for Lane Tech as they try to close out this set number 1. 24-6 off the Stauber's serve. She gets the dig here. Stoner with the front set. Anderson trying to finish it, and she will. Sarah Sweeto unable to finish that point there. And Lane Tech will take set number 1 here at Lane Gymnasium, 25-6. Just a dominating performance here from the champions. We will see in a minute if they can keep that going in set number 2. We're going to take a quick break and be back in a second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Lane Tech Girls Volleyball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. quite the first set performance here from Lane Tech. They take set number 1 over the Lions 25-6, and they'll go with a slightly different rotation here in set number 2. So we'll take you around the court here. For the champions in the front row, it'll be Amina Ahmad on the left side. In the middle, number 12, Brooke Anderson, who moves from the back to the front here in set number 2. And to her right, number 3, the junior outside hitter, Olivia Sprinkle. In the back row, going from left to right, it'll be Olivia Crane, who stays in the same spot as she was to start off the rotation in set number 1. In the middle, number 9, Rocky Ortiz gets the start, and to her right, Maggie O'Brien, who was named player of the match for her performance on Tuesday against Steinmetz, will serve. Lane Tech got to serve to start off the first set, so I assume they were going to switch it here in set number 2. But looks like it'll be O'Brien serving to start off this second set. Heidi Stauber comes into the game. Substitutes there for Ortiz, so Stauber will stay in the libero role here in set number 2. As first serve from O'Brien goes for an ace. She knows a thing or two about those in Tuesday's win over the Steinmetz Silver Streaks. Only played in set number 2, but was able to get 6 aces in that time, and she adds another one to her total here. Goes down the line again, this one able to be dug out, and saying this a little too far there off the hands of Corda gives Lane Tech the 2-0 lead. Lane Tech was playing a little rocky to start off the second set, but then O'Brien came to serve and just went on a 6 or 7 point streak, and that really changed the momentum in the second set of Monday's game 1, as this one finds the ground. You haven't seen Lane Tech misjudge a lot of plays here this season at Lane Gymnasium, but that one she will, as number 32, Freya Lind, the 5'11 junior, will check into the game for the Lions. Slightly different looking lineup for Lincoln Park here in set number 2, as well as Sprinkle with her first kill attempt. Goes off the hand of Sarah Sweeto there in the front row. Looked like that one was pummeling towards out of bounds. Sweeto decided to play it with her fist and just flies off her fist out of bounds to give Lane Tech back the 2-point lead. And now we will see Sprinkle, who just got the kill, head back to serve. This one played excellently to the middle, but a nice reception there from the libero. O'Brien with her first set. Anderson gets the kill. Diving into foul territory there was number 30, Charlie Tenkin. Tenkin, the libero here in set number 2. Misjudges that ball as Lane Tech goes up 4-1. Sprinkle again, this one a little too far, straight down the middle, but this drifts past the inbound lines as Lane Tech goes up 4-2, and Maddie Gavelden will check in for Sprinkle. So looks like Lane Tech may be substituting a lot here in the second set as they try out some different rotations. This one played off the tape, and nice job by O'Brien there in the front row to keep it alive, and Crame, looks like that ball might have come off the net, played off her hands awkwardly, but the net ends up helping the shot. Makes it fall a little sooner than expected for the Lions as Lane Tech goes up 5-2 here. And we'll see Brooke Anderson back to serve, as her first serve of the night goes into the net. So Lincoln Park staying in this one a little closer than they did in the first set. Only had 6 points in set number 1. They have 3 out of the first 8 played here in the second set. As Ahmad looks for her first kill of the second set, she gets it. Had a strong start there to set number 1. Was a little quiet towards the end, but a booming start to set number 2. As we'll see a couple of stubs into the game in the form of number 44, Josie Bietti, and Catherine Hong, who drops down in the serve order and sends this one into the net. So a little bit of trouble here for Lane Tech, landing their serves in set number 2. We'll see if they can turn that around as Lincoln Park will get their service back for a third time this set. Trailing 6-4. Gavilan gets the reception. Back set. Crane. And a diving save there from Tenkin. Perkins back into the game. She can't finish the kill. And a pushover by the junior keeps it alive. Crane trying for the outside kill. Can't get it. This one flies too far. And just like that, Lincoln Park is within 1-6-5 here in set number 2. Lane Sack not having as much success here in set number 2 as they had in the first set. We'll see if they can turn it around as Beatty can't finish it there. Now Crane from a similar spot had an awkward angle, but somehow finishes the point. She kind of pushed that one across the net at like a horizontal angle, just barely gets by, but finishes with the point. And Lane Sack finally gets their serve back, up 7-5, and it will be Crane serving from the far side. Lane Tech's really been targeting the libero here off their serves here in set number 2 to varying successes, as Crane goes with a soft touch there, unable to finish the point. Now she'll play it from the back row. Sprinkle from the far side, an excellent block there in the front row for the Lions. Crane now plays it off the nets, and what a play there. Unable to finish it, but a good effort there. Sweeto hit it right to Perkins. Her teammate looked like a shot almost, more than a pass. Perkins plays it right back to Sweeto, who gets it over the net while on the ground. However, unable to finish the point as it goes a little too far to her left, out of bounds, and Lane Sack will go up 8-5. Crane, almost a lucky shot there from the Lions. They won't be able to finish, though. Lane Sack defensively tonight has been excellent, and just as we say that, Perkins gets a kill through the hands of Ortiz and Sprinkle. Busy night for playoff action here for Lane Sack Athletics. Obviously, we have the round of 16 game for girls volleyball, but girls flag football looking for a spot in the championship game, as a block there from Perkins and number 13, Amanda Lee, brings the Lions within 1. Stauber with an awkward reception there. Sprinkle able to recover it, though. We've seen Lincoln Park do a lot better job of covering the court here, as this one will go for a point as Beatty finds her second point of the night to put Lane Sack back within 2, 9-7. If you're Lane Sack right now, you had the big first set win. Now you're just hoping to at least keep a lead here in set number 2. Doesn't matter how many points you win the set by. They're just hoping to get to that 25 mark first to clinch their spot in the quarterfinals, as Brooke Anderson with another kill here to get Lane to the double-digit mark, up 10-7. Last year, it was a 25-14, 25-12 win for Lane Sack in the second round against Chicago Academy. And a nice block there in the front row from Sprinkle and Anderson. Anderson, the team's leader in blocks, one of the top blockers in the conference. Actually, right now, she holds the lead in the Chicago Public Super League for blocks, as Perkins tries to jump over the net, and I believe she went over the net there. They will give the point to Lane Sack, who are trying to pull away here. Up by 4 now, 11-7, their biggest lead in a while. Stauber sends this one booming to the back. Played by Conforti. Anderson now plays this to the back row. That back row defense has been impressive here for Lincoln Park, and wow, they were able to get through a block from two of Lane Sack's tallest players. Crane plays this one instead of letting it go. Anderson, and Perkins finishes with the points. Anderson kind of pushed it into a moving Perkins, who was already in the motion, it looked like, of a kill, and she finishes with the point. She'll head back to serve. Down just by 3 now here in set number 2. This has been a very interesting Lincoln Park team against Super League opponents this year. We saw them take Payton, a team Lane Tech lost to in 3 sets to 3 sets. Lincoln Park ended up losing that one, but they've had some good performances against good teams this year. As Crame unable to finish the point there. This one hits her face. Hopefully she's okay. And Catherine Hong fell to the ground right after that, but Lane Tech will be able to finish the points after Corda sends it into the net. So we'll see a couple of substitutions into the game as Hong and Beatty exit for O'Brien and Ahmad. 6:25 local time here in Roscoe Village. A fast-paced round of 16 matchup here as O'Brien goes with the soft serve here. She gets an ace on her second service rotation of the night. We see Sprinkle and O'Brien on the court right now. Those two likely to be some of the top players on this team next year as O'Brien sends this one into the net. Doesn't get the luck of the tape there. And we'll send number 13, Amanda Lee, back to serve. Plays this one well to Stauber. O'Brien with the set to Ahmad. Ahmad goes cross court. And they're going to give it to Lane Tech off of what looks like a net violation there for the Lions. So Lane Tech gets lucky there. It's a nice strike by Ahmad. However, they did end up being able to play it, but it won't matter as Lane Tech gets the point. Now a sprinkle off the serve and misplayed there by Lind off the attempt to bump it over the net. And Lane Tech now goes up by, should be 6. However, the scoreboard is going to keep that 14-9. Stauber to Crame. And some more excellent blocking here from the Lions. On the block there was Lind as well as number 15, Tara Cahill, getting in on the fun. As Lincoln Park will hit double digits for the first time tonight here in set number 2. After scoring just 6 points in the first set, they now have 10 already here in set number 2. Ahmad goes with a soft touch. No one there near the logo for the Lions. Some nice vision there for the champions. And they extend their lead back up to 5 here. As we'll see Brooke Anderson serving for the second time tonight. Sent her first serve into net, but a booming ace there. Trying to dig it out on the reception there was the libero Tenkin. And once again, the serving, which has been an integral part of this run for Lane Tech in the city playoffs so far, continues to be very impressive. During the regular season, Lane Tech, they had good serving, but these last couple of days, they've just had very good contributions from basically all their players on the serves, and that has led them to a 17-10 lead here in the round of 16. Set number 2 here, as we were mentioning, girls flag football also playing on this Thursday night. They're over at Taft competing against Kenwood to try to book their spot in the city championship, which will be held on Saturday here at Lane Stadium. Girls volleyball is a slightly longer road to the city championships. They will have to win this game, quarterfinals, and the semifinals before the championship next Thursday, as Anderson gets her second ace in a row. Once again, misplayed off the libero's hand. And Lane Tech now up to what I believe might be their biggest lead here in set number 2, 18-10, as player Anderson's going to check into the game for Olivia Crame. Nice outing for Crame if that's her last time on the court for tonight. Anderson, once again, this time they are able to play it. That was Sarah Suito on the reception. However, they're unable to play it all the way back. As Lane Tech taking control here, 19-10. So looked like for a second here that the Lions were going to possibly contend, send this to a set number 3, but Lane Sack taking control here late in set number 2, and miscommunication there from both Sarah Sweeto and Ava Corda leads Lane Sack to the 20-10 lead. Lincoln Park will be actually competing in the same sectional as Lane Sack, as Anderson sends this one a little too far. She'll hop off the court as Stauber comes in on the substitution. Lincoln Park's the 14 seed in the Lions sectional. They're in the Whitney Young regional and will play the 4th seeded Oak Park River Forest Huskies in round number 1, as Gavelton unable to control this one, and Lincoln Park will get their 2nd straight point. For state play for Lane Tech, which we actually have not discussed that much on the broadcast, they're going to be in the Argo regional. They'll take on Oak Lawn in the regional semi, and then most likely we'll have a date with the number 1 seed Mother McCauley, as Perkins with another block/kill there in the front row to move the Lions within 7. Tenkin on the serve, and O'Brien just tripped up there, it looked like, as she was trying to get hands on the ball. And a little bit of a run here for Lincoln Park. They pull within 6, 20-14 here in set number 2. Winner of this one heads to the quarterfinals on Monday, which I believe is still the higher seed hosting. The bracket had some instructions at the bottom which were a little confusing. They had locations for round 1 and 2, but not for... and 4 and 5, but not for 3, as Lincoln Park will get another point here. So that little run Lane Tech had getting erased off of a nice serving rotation for Temkin. She serves this one shallow, a little too shallow, goes straight into the net. And Champions will go up 21-15. So Beatty and Hong will check in for O'Brien and Ahmad. Lane Tech hoping that might have to be the last rotation they have to make, and very well could be with Catherine Hong going back to serve, team's leader in aces. This one played very high, but Lions able to put it back. Anderson from the far side, can't finish the kill. Lane's had mixed success with their kill attempts from the outside here tonight, and they'll get one as we say it. Claire Anderson gets it off the hands of both Perkins and Lynn there on the far side to move the Champions within 3. Hong goes down the line here on the serve. Anderson with a nice save there. Beatty can't finish it there. Gavelin Stauber is going to have to hit it over with the 3rd hit. She will. Perkins goes with the soft touch. But Lane Tech just in the right place at the right time here on this point. 22-15 set number 2. This one's sent to the back, and they will say it hits the ground. I believe off the hands there of the libero Temkin. And Lincoln Park not going away yet. They're trying to keep their city playoff run alive. As we mentioned, a win over Kenwood on Tuesday night. And the 13 seed looking to work some late set magic here against the 4th seeded Lane Tech Champions. Stauber had to make a big run there. And finishing with the point there, Beatty off of a diving number 1, Sarah Sweeto. Nice effort there from the Lions, but they can't finish the points. And Lane will move within 2 points of victory. It'll be Claire Anderson serving her first one. Received by Corda. Perkins to the back row. A booming shot there. Anderson unable to receive it. And Lincoln Park will stay within 6. They'll send, looks like Sweeto there back to serve. So the senior outside hitter looking to keep this one alive for the Lions. Sprinkle from the far side. Unable to finish on the kill, and they'll have Corda punch it over. Back and forth point. Ortiz blocked in the front row by Perkins. As 2 straight points now for Lincoln Park, who have gone on a couple of runs here in set number 2 after falling behind 9 or 10 points. They've kept this one a lot closer the last few minutes. Sprinkle again from the outside. This time she finishes with the kill. Trying for the dig there was Sweeto, who has had a very good second set, but can't dig that one out. Lane Tech goes up 24-18, and they are 1 point away from a city quarterfinal berth. Stauber can't get the ace. We'll see if they can get it now. Perkins with a big shot there. And Lane Tech will keep it alive. Stauber, Perkins jumps over the net, finishes with the spike. And Lincoln Park not saying goodbye to the dream yet. 24-19, they'll send Perkins back to serve. Checking into the game, number 15, Tara Cahill for Lincoln Park. 24-19. Match point for Lincoln Park. This one played softly. Anderson to Hong. Hong plays it to Sprinkle. Can't finish with the point there. Couple of points here for Lane Tech that looked like could be the finisher, but they won't, as Perkins will head back for her second serve. It's the third match point for Lane Tech, and they will get it off the service air from Perkins. Perkins with an impressive day for the Lions, but she cannot finish on this night, and Lane Tech will take the 25-6, 25-20 win over the Lincoln Park Lions. A very impressive performance from Lane Tech. Some excellent serving from them again, and they were just able to shut down Lincoln Park defensively in the first set, and they were able to hold them there in the second set. A little bit of a run there from the Lions, but they fall short 25-20 in set number 2. Lane Tech, the 4 seed, advances to the quarterfinals, which we believe should be here on Monday night for what I imagine will be a 6 p.m. first serve. They take on the winner of Washington and Westinghouse. Washington, the higher seed in that one, so we can assume it might be a Super League matchup in the quarterfinals, but that's just about all the time we have for tonight. A very impressive win for the champions as they get the 25-6, 25-20 win over the Lincoln Park Lions to advance to the city quarterfinals. That's all we have for now. Your final score from Lane Gymnasium, Lane Tech 2, Lincoln Park 0. My name's Alex Burstein. Good night.